Okay, we're here with Sean Bollinger. This is an interview for PEEP magazine at the Vision Health and Fitness Gym in the Northeast. Sean, really appreciate you coming here. Is it the first time you've been in the Northeast?
No, so I first started coming out here after my last fight. I won an amateur title in Tough Enough. It's like an amateur fight thing out in Las Vegas. But in 2011, Chris had me come out, and we kind of did started doing the UK tours, and I've been back probably 5 or 6 times since then. So yeah, not the first time out here, but first time at this location. So
could you tell us a bit about your background, about where you're from and how you got into jiu-jitsu?
So I live in California, Southern California. Maybe like an hour away from Los Angeles or whatever. Started doing, I got into martial arts originally at 7 years old, doing karate, and I did it for a little bit, but wasn't really ever into it, and then kind of got back into the martial arts scene by watching old Jet Li and Jackie Chan movies. Have you ever seen Legend of the Drunken Master and all these? Have you seen that? Yeah. So there's kind of got into what I thought at that time. I was 11, 12 years old. I was like, man, instead of doing karate, man, I should have done kung fu, because Jet Li and Jackie Chan and these guys, those guys really know how to, So luckily, I found a kung fu school that had a jiu-jitsu program, So I started doing kung fu maybe 6 months into training that. All right, guys, bring it in. Let's go. My instructor kind of pushed me into doing the jiu-jitsu, and ever since my first class, just kind of fell in love with it, and been doing it ever since. So,
what do you think about the gym?
Gym looks awesome. Got it looks like when you walk into it, it looks like a gym where people are getting really, really strong. You know what I mean? It's not like a place where it doesn't look like a place where you come to play around. It looks like people are really serious about what they're doing, and same thing goes for the MMA and jiu-jitsu side of it too, man. Nice ring in the middle and good mat space. Really cool. All right. So we're just gonna kick this off with a little drill. We've been doing this the last couple seminars. It's just a little drill to help us kind of stay on the back. When we're looking to put our second hook in, say we're looking to go to the back, right? Trying to put our second hook in, the person defends and does the right thing to kind of escape the position. We're gonna do a little drill that kind of helps us with hip mobility, right? So however I get to the back, this is the position that I'm gonna be in, right? Just one hook, trying to throw my second hook in. He's blocking, right? So he's gonna kind of turtle up here, pull his elbow inside. To get here, let's just go ahead and start with an arm drag, right? So I have both of his hands controlled. I'm gonna reach across. Okay, whatever arm I'm reaching across to, I take out the same butterfly hook, and as I pull him by, I'm gonna slide my this leg in as far as I can. Okay, I'm trying to put my chest to the back of his shoulder. And the other hand drapes all the way around. You can grab the lat, but I like to come all the way over like this. Okay, I'm gonna get up to my knee. Now this is where he's gonna defend. So if we've ever tried to take someone's back before, as I try and throw this in, he's gonna defend, right? He's gonna kind of turtle up. And which direction do you think he's gonna start turning? Yes, towards you, right? So to his left. So he's gonna defend that hook, and he's gonna start smearing his back out towards that side. And maybe pushing my leg down half guard, full guard, or whatever. Okay, so when the person is doing that, we're just gonna do it. It's a real simple hip up exercise. Just pay attention to exactly what I'm doing with my hips. So this hand is grabbing all the way over. As he pulls his arm in to defend, I'm gonna attach myself to the other side of his body. I have my hook in with my right leg, but I don't have anything kind of holding me to this side of his body. Right? Wrestlers do this thing where they come inside and hook the leg like this. Okay, but if I can't grab anything or put my hooks in, and he falls to the side, I'm gonna lose position. My chest to back, connection here he's gonna take that away. Does that make sense? So I need to anchor myself to his body on this side somehow. And yes, we could throw this butterfly hook in, or this butterfly hook in and do stuff. But instead of that, we're gonna grab a one-on-one. Okay, so as he pulls his elbow in to defend, this arm that is already reaching for his lat, okay, should be able to kind of snake his wrist up right there. Okay, I'm gonna grab with no thumb. I'm gonna kind of like roll my wrist forward. It's very common like wrestling grip. Okay, they use this all the time. But this kind of keeps me attached to his side. So as he moves the spears back to the ground, I follow him, right? I just have to do the right things to stay in good position. So a lot of times people do this. People know to hold the lat or grab this arm. But as the person falls to the side, they don't put their knee in the right spot, and they try and follow him like this, and he ends up spearing his back out this way. Okay, it's so common. Such a common mistake. Boom. I get him to my knee, he defends, I attach myself to this side of his body with my one-on-one grip. Okay, now as he falls to his side, I'm gonna take a big step. Okay, so I'm taking a real big step, and then I'm gonna, without pulling my foot back, I'm gonna drop my knee up by his head. Okay, so my knee doesn't drop like this. My knee's gonna drop up here. Sit to my butt and yank him up to a sitting position. Okay, so the whole way through, my chest stay tight to his back, just like this. And as I pull him up, we shouldn't be like this. Okay, so we're gonna practice coming up in good position to look for the choke, right? This is where we wanna be if we wanna look for this choke. Not here. Okay, so moving my hips this way, staying attached to his side this way. This is gonna enable me to stay in good position as I kind of follow him. You know, and I would keep this arm in. Sometimes you don't get the hook in the first try. Sometimes he keeps rotating to this side, I can't get it in, I come back up. You know? Boom, boom, I make those two movements, I move again. Just getting out of the way of my own self in a way. If I drop this knee too low, if I drop it too low, he runs into it, and then his back goes to the mat. Again, very common mistake there. So, the drill, okay? Again, this applies to any type of back take, no matter what you're doing. Okay, I'm going to his back and I have one hook in. I can go to truck and I can roll and pull him on top of me, go for stuff like that. But when it comes to putting the hook in and following him wherever he's going, this is the hip movement I need to be doing. So we can start with an arm drag. I'll keep everyone, you know, look, grab his wrists, pull him by, I slide inside, I get up to my knee, he defends. Right away I attach myself to this side of his body. He goes to smear his back on the ground, I take a big step. Look, don't drop your knee like this. Keep your foot where it is, drop your knee up high. And then look, I stay real close to him as I pull him up to a sitting position. When you get to here, you should have your head, should be like a second head popping out of your shoulder right here. Does that make sense? Okay, so I pull him up, now I can throw my other hook in. Look for the choke. We'll get into finish, you know, attacking there. He defends. Say he defends again. Right? You can handle that. Don't kick anybody. You know what I mean? Watch your seats, watch your space, use the ring. Hold on a sec. Hold on, guys. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Try again. Hold on a sec. 1, 2, 3. Go. We'll stop it and come back over it again. So. Bend further up with your knees. So instead of dragging this arm,
So you're going to be on your knees. This arm's going to drag here. This arm pulls it across. Boom. Go ahead and just pull it. Step your left leg out. Right. Drape this hand. This can be inside. Slide it all the way in. Yes. This one lays over here. Now get up. As you get up.
grabbing the same side. Whatever leg you have in, grab the same side arm. You're gonna grab it.
You see that? You've got the chalk. Yeah, do it if you saw that. Do you have so another arm drag? Yeah. Stop. There.
Now see, keep your head up here. You don't have to. Yeah, you can reach around like your shoulder with the right hand, but this knee needs to drop up here. Oh yes, exactly. And see, don't pick that hand up.
Stop. Too fast.
And your knee is too low. You got to bring your knee up higher when you drop it. You're dropping your knee. You're letting it go. So when you're here.
Guys, do it the best you can for a couple of tries, and we're gonna bring it back. Okay, we're gonna polish it up. Your head in.
Hey.
So you got to bring that knee. Come up. I'm going to take this. I step.
Okay, whatever arm, I'm not grabbing like this. Okay, I'm coming across his body, and I'm kind of tucking his arm down, or his hand towards the side, grabbing his tricep. Right. That butterfly hook comes out, and I'm gonna pull him by. When I pull him past me like this, I'm gonna look to slide this leg in at the same time. Okay, and that becomes my first hook. As I pull him by and slide in, this is my first hook. Okay, most of you guys are doing this right, but some of you guys aren't. So just pay attention if you're confused. This hand drapes around his body real quick, so that it's ready to kind of snake his wrist up when he defends. But anyways, once I come in deep with this leg, I'm gonna pull my knee back. That is my first hook here. So this is where everyone should be. He pulls his elbow in, I grab his wrist. Now, when he falls to the side, okay, look how Jeremy's falling to the side. It's hard for Jeremy to fall to the side and collect half power with his knee like up, like this. So usually they defend for a second, right, then they drop that knee to the side, and say I wasn't attached to him, say I didn't hold on, he would continue smearing his back out, and he'd probably end up reclaiming half guard here. So that's what the person is doing who's defending. They're just stopping the second hook from coming in, right? Stopping this, and they're falling to the side. Okay, now, biggest mistake I'm seeing right now, when he falls to his side, look, I take a big step, and I don't put my knee where my foot is. Some of you guys are doing this, right? Your hips need to switch. So say I didn't hold on to anything, this is what the movement needs to be like. I'm facing you, right? Now I'm facing this way. 180-degree turn. In the process of taking his back and sitting him up, if his neck's open, I'll choke him before the second hook comes in. You often see times like guys will be exposed in the process of taking his back. Instead of getting here, be like, go. Gotta look for his neck. You know, in that transition where I'm pulling him up, bam, if he's, that's why I need to be in perfect position, because if he's making a mistake, I'm ready to go, you know? I don't need my second hook. I'll choke you right here. I don't need any hooks if I have a perfect choke, right? So, it's the hip switch, guys. This is the most common mistake. And if you're falling off and losing control, it's because you're taking a step and then you're dropping your knee where your foot is. Like this. I'm not making that 180-degree turn. See, I can do that staying up too. Look, I'm still holding on here. So, some guys keep their head too far down and they stay low like this, and they try and bring the knee up, and this doesn't work. Keep your head up. And this foot's tucking in behind his back. Sit to my butt, then pull him up to a sitting position. Don't pull him on top of you like this, okay? Pull him up towards his right or his left, depending on where you're going, right? Okay, so again, just try it a few more times. We're gonna polish it up probably a few more times, and then we'll move on to attacks. Hold on, you guys. Need to study right. Listen. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Go slow. Take your time.
Yep, drape over. Start closing up. You gotta start closing this gap because he's looking to bring that hook. Collapse. Go on your elbow. Go on your elbow. There you go. And now as he goes over, collapse, start smearing. Boom. He sits you up. Right. So this one should be over her neck already. Already looking like
Very good. And then keep sitting into him here. Same type of hip movement, right? Exactly. And big, nice. Look at that, beautiful. Now grab around his neck here. Look for his choke. Yeah. Now as you pull him up, if you're underneath, you just finish right there. You know. You don't have to worry about setting anything up. You already look for it in the process of doing it. Grab one. So come through. No thumb.
So like with this foot right here, you don't have to hook his leg.
Now as he falls,
it's just in there. See how your left leg? Yeah, it's just going to be laced. It doesn't need to.
So you drop your knee first instead of stepping first. So try and drop your knee back. Okay, stay right there, Mom. Say now look, this foot needs to be here right now. Put this. Take your knee off the ground. Right. Right, but keep your other knee on the ground. You step first. You're just dropping your knee. You're trying to like go right to it, which is fine. What eventually turns into that. But as he drops, so take a step back real quick. So go back a step. Right. So you go to put this hook in, he falls, right? So first thing, step with your foot wide here, out here. Good. Now drop your knee up here. Tuck this foot in behind his back. Hand around his neck. Okay. Now as you sit to your butt, pull him up towards his right. Yeah. Keep your head on this side. This side. So let me show you real quick. That was good. That was good. This is what's happening. You're here. Okay. Go back. Okay. Everything's fine here. I snake his wrist up. As he falls, okay, you're stepping like too close and you're trying to drop your knee on the ground. See how low my knee is? My knee needs to be up here. That's what needs to happen. So it's easier to kind of take like almost like make a checkpoint for yourself. As he falls, instead of trying to just pop my knee, and this is what happens. Eventually, as he falls, I just jump. See that? Okay. But instead of doing that, we'll take a big step like this first one.
I sit him up.
All right.
Okay, and from here I got this. Corona Kings, baby.
Okay, good. One more time. Good job. We're getting better. Getting better.
Bring it in, guys.
Real quick. Real quick. Guys, what I like to do is show something, okay, and I'll let everybody, if I step back, let everybody do it, and then look for common mistakes, you know what I mean? Address them as I'm kind of polishing this up. Last time we're going to come back to this, right, but let me try and come at you with a different, like from a different perspective. Or just give you a different example so you can gain some different perspective. So look, I pull him by, I'm here. Guys, the movement that I want is a 180-degree switch, right? Facing this way, I want to be facing behind me when I end up pulling him up, okay? And what is happening, again, the most common mistake is to drop your knee too low. So when I'm here and he falls to the side, you drop your knee like this, okay? This is not going to work. Instead of dropping your knee down, the movement wants to be like this. I don't have to always take a big step. As he falls, I can just hop this knee all the way up into good position. See that? That's what it will end up looking like. It's the same thing if I was like in side control and I was able to get some type of over-under from here. I would hop to his back the same way. That knee has to be hiked up there, super high, and I need to be able to do that while keeping this here. Who cares about coming up to a back position like this? You know what I mean? Like I'd have to already be switching to something else if I'm here. I don't want that. I don't want to be in back control like this with his head like right in the middle. I want to sit him up and I want to be here. Choking arm on one side, my head on the other side. Okay, he goes to the side. So the movement is this. Go ahead. Goes up with big hop. Boom. But if we can't do that, right? If we can't do that right away, we need to create like some type of, you ever play like Mario? You run, and halfway through the level, you hit something, you get like a little checkpoint. So if you die, you don't go all the way back to the beginning of the level, right? We gotta set up a checkpoint like that. He goes up to his knee. Look, he falls to the side, checkpoint, boom. I go here first. So instead of trying to, go do all that in one movement, break it down into two. Big step, I'm still facing the same way. Some of you guys are stepping up like this. Okay, this isn't gonna work. Big step, and then I keep my foot where it's at kinda, and I drop my knee up high. Goes again, big step. Goes again. See that? Follow, follow, follow. As many times as it takes, A lot of times I get, do that a couple times and he forgets about his neck. He's so worried about defending that second hook from coming in. He starts doing this with his neck open. Right? Okay, last time. Let's polish it up. 1, 2, 3, go. That hook's already in, right? So if that hook's already in, you'd be going to this side, right? But your knee's already in good position. Start over. You all right? Okay, now we're trying to get our left hook in, right? Okay, before you take that step, he's got a fall, right? Yeah. So he's defending the hook, flatten this leg, and fall to the side. Now take the big step. Right. Yes. Bring it up really high. Keep your head on the left side. Beautiful. Very good. Just takes it doing like a couple times right. You're like, oh, okay, I see what's going on, you know? Person on the defense has to fall to the side before the person takes a step. You have to initiate the defense. You have to start that.
Stop doing it. Take your foot over.
If you're always going like over under, then that choking arm is like right there, you know? Just needs to come up to his shoulder. And if his neck is open, I just grab his shoulder. And even with one hand, he tries to pull my arm away. It's very hard. My grip is very strong. Your grip's strong too, trust me. It's not just my grip. Okay? You do it right, you grab the right way, kind of like make that, you know, no thumb, roll your wrist forward. Your grip's strong. So we should always be looking for that in the process of taking the back. But anyways, we're here, we're on his back. I want to make this an unfair fight, is basically what I've been breaking this down to lately. I want to take his arm. I'm on his back. It's unfair in the sense that I'm behind him. He doesn't have good position. Okay, but when it comes to defending the choke, I have two arms to choke him with, and legs. There's all kinds of arm bars and all kinds of different things I can go to. But if I'm looking for a rear naked choke, I have two arms to choke him with. He has two arms to defend, and he has his chin to tuck. So I gotta kind of break through these defenses to make this an unfair fight. Everyone staying with me? Okay. So we're gonna go over the hand fighting. We're gonna break this down in like 3 or 4 steps, so we're not getting confused. But we're gonna keep repeating them as we continue doing the attack. Okay. Over, under. That's where I'm starting. Or maybe over under with a one hand grabbing his, you know, this one-on-one grabbing my own wrist. But I should have some type of over-under if I'm controlling his back. Shouldn't be like this, right? Shouldn't be like this. It can be like this sometimes, but this is how we want to start, right? Now he's defending by holding on to the choking arm. The arm is over. The first goal that I want to do, or the first thing I want to accomplish, is my underhook arm wants to grab his opposite wrist, okay, with my thumb facing like my fingers facing out, not like this. Okay, so that's the first goal. But when you're here, you're trying to get that without kind of moving his arms around. When he's holding onto that choking arm, I can't just peel that grip off. This is unrealistic. Does that make sense? When he's holding onto that, none of you, I don't care how much weight you lift, I don't care how good of a kung fu chop you got, this shit is not gonna work. Okay, relax, let me do it. Some of you guys are gonna drill it like this. Not gonna happen, not in a million years. Okay, so what we gotta do is we gotta take the top arm off, we just kind of pull it back a little bit, and I grab the same side wrist, and I pass it to my underhook arm. Does that make sense? Very simple. I know I'm saying a lot of words for some simple shit. I've been saying this like the last 2 seminars, but look. Overhook arm grabs the same side wrist, I pass it to my underhook arm, and then I go back to attacking his neck to occupy his other arm. So now I have him holding onto his wrist, okay, his chin's down, okay, and I have my underhook arm controlling his opposite wrist. Now I'm going to fall towards my underhook. Okay, I like doing this. We could fall towards our overhook and look to take away his arm. I don't get ahead of myself, but I don't like doing this because with MMA gloves on, your arm gets stuck. You know, especially with a wrap, you try to take this arm away and you're trying to pull your hand out and stuck. And now he still has this arm to pull this arm away, right? I want to take away both of his arms. So once I get that grip, I fall towards the underhook, and I'm going to push this arm straight down, and I'm going to take away his first arm. Okay, so I just bring it right over his forearm. Put it in the stomach, and drive my heel into his stomach, pinch my knees together. He's still holding on to this wrist because I'm trying to choke him with it. Okay, so he's holding on, holding on. As I take it away, he'll follow, and my underhook arm is going to snake up this one-on-one again. Now I've taken away both of his arms. Unfair fight. All right, now I have one hand to attack his neck. His last line of defense is you know, smearing his back out to the mat. He always has that. Okay, and his chin. His chin's real tight. Okay, so we're just gonna stop right here. We're gonna go over some of the subtleties and what's going on here. But just hand fight and get to this position where I've taken away one arm and the second arm. Still have my head lower than his too. So anytime his head gets to the ground here, he's probably gonna escape. I gotta like pull him back. So I want my head to be underneath his head. Right, go back. Over under, overhook arm passes it. The opposite wrist to my underhook arm. I attack his neck to occupy his arms. Okay, head's nice and tight. I fall towards my underhook. Look, now I can trap his wrist without getting my hand stuck. Yeah? Take this arm away. One-on-one. No thumb. Same thing, curl your wrist forward. And we're gonna stop right here. You might think it's okay, I could just choke him now, right? Yeah, there's more shit that's going on here than just that. Like there's tons of things he can do to keep making this a hard fight. So even though we've taken his arms away, there's a lot more steps to go through. Overhook arm passes to the underhook arm. Right? Attack his neck. I fall towards the underhook. I take away one arm. Some of you guys, if you're real flexible, you can cross your feet up a little bit high. But if you do that and you cross them too low, he can catch you and stuff. So don't worry, you know, if you have the flexibility, you can cross them up high. You can cross your feet. But for now, just try and drive your heel into his stomach and pinch your knees together. That's one arm. Take away the second arm, and we stop. Very simple. Let's not spend too much time on this. Just a couple hand fighting things. Oh, get ahead of yourself. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, guys and girl.
Hand fights, guys, hand fights.
Steeds het stop, hè? We stay here. Yeah, just to stop there.
This side here, okay? I got him. This leg still got to be able to come around and take away his arm, right? So if I hold the side and I'm kind of like
This one's going to snake up here. So this one's going to sink like this one. Now you get yeah, try to put his hands.
just like that. Beautiful. And just
Real chill.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't want a guy like down here or anything, right? That's second then.
And tight. You take the arm and arm, stick, put your heel into the elbow as well, and then
Yeah,
push
then drive it down.
Slides under. I keep it
Secure yourself right away. Bam! Alright. Slot in the choke.
That side. No, that side.
I mean, my head's on the wrong side there. I did not fall that way. I want to fall that way. I'm on the wrong side.
So your overhook side, right? Yes.
My head wants to fall that way.
Right. So that he's blocking. Right, so this hand comes out, grabs this hand,
I come down.
pass it, pass upside down, right, back to the choke. Right, now he grabs that. Don't fall that way.
My head side.
And then now from here, yep, you take that away. If you can cross your feet, that's fine. If not, then there's there. Go back to the choke. Yeah, you're good because you did the hand fight already. Right, get snow. You want your hand all the way here. Right. Choke him with one arm, see?
When the hardest is stand up, just automatically stop falling.
Yeah, don't fall because you become a ramp. You know what I'm saying? It starts to slide down. So you want to be like chest to the middle of his back. Second head right here.
Stop it from like reaching back.
So just like I did to him. Just so you feel it.
Nice.
that chest.
Aye. So, overhook head on the other side.
It's all right.
Aye. Over under, yep. Just on back. Scoop that wrist. Plus one hand, yeah. Don't touch me.
I want you to kind of do this little experiment. Have a little jiu-jitsu science experiment. Not about flat earth though. You guys heard of me any about that shit? Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, he's losing his mind, man. I don't know about that. Earth is not flat. But anyways, I've been saying this at every seminar too because I will stand against that type of bullshit. 100%. Same side arm grabs, our top arm grabs the same side arm. Some of you guys are like getting so lost in the steps that you're not like grabbing, you know, some of you guys are kind of like, you know, don't grab this wrist with no thumb. Grab it with your thumb, grab his wrist, right? Most of the time we grab the wrist by itself, we're grabbing with our thumbs. If we're like grabbing a Kimura grip, maybe we keep our hands, our thumbs to our, you know, to inside of our hands or whatever. But when we're just grabbing someone's wrist, is this good? It just gives him one way he can pull it out, right? So this, at least he has to do some type of hand fighting to get his wrist out, okay? The top arm grabs the same side wrist and you pass it to your underhook arm. That's it. It's not complicated. But some of you guys are kind of just like, okay, one step, what's two step, what's the third step? The first step is for your underhook arm to grab the opposite wrist. That is it. I'm just using the top arm to help me because this isn't gonna work. Yeah? Okay? So, I've done that. I go back to attacking his neck. He defends. I fall to the side. I take away his first arm. He's still holding on to this. If he's not holding on to this and his neck's up, you know, choke him. Please choke him. Even if we're drilling right now and his neck's just up like this, you know, thinking about what he had for lunch and shit, just choke him. Bam! You know? But look, he's holding on to my wrist. He's practicing good habits too. I take my arm away. He's going to follow it because he's holding on to it. Second arm comes in, and I grab his wrist with no thumb. Okay, curl my wrist forward. Now here's the little thing I want you guys to try. We started by grabbing his wrist like this, right? I want you to hold on to his wrist and have the guy straighten his arm all the way out to try and pop his grip free. Because that's what a strong guy's going to do. Okay, he's going to... I'm going to lose it. Okay, he can't come straight this way to grab this arm, right? Because I'm keeping it down this way. He tries to grab this arm, it's not going to go. But if he breaks his grip free first, then he can come and peel this arm away. Okay, so instead of grabbing his wrist like this, I'm going to grab the fat of his hand like this. Okay, and just make that little switch. Now I want you to try, hold onto his wrist like this, have him straighten his arm, right? Feel how difficult it is, and then hold the fat of his hand and do the same thing. All right? It's just like if I was to open a door, this was the hinge of the door. I don't push at the hinge of the door to get the leverage, right? I push at the end of the lever. Okay, and I'm going to control at the end of the lever. I'm not going to hold down here. Yeah? Okay, so just do that. We do all the same steps. We should always be getting this pretty decent by now. Top arm, same side arm, passes it to this one. Boom. Underhook grabs the opposite wrist. Go to attack his neck. He defends. Fall to the side. One arm comes away. I take this arm away from his neck. Second arm comes in. I'm going to grab the fat of his hand this time. Okay, do it both. Start here. Have him pop his grip out. I can hold on to that pretty strong. If I keep my wrists curled forward, go ahead and straighten it. Like my fingers I can hold on pretty good. But sometimes guys are strong, you know. So hold up here. Try both of them and see how much of a difference it makes. A couple times, and we're gonna move on to the next thing. 1, 2, 3.
longer to try to fight grab the wrist.
Well, yeah, see how you're sliding it out? Yeah.
Well, you meant this.
Yeah, so if you can get this to slide down here, then you can pop.
That one's cool.
Yeah, so that's the way to go for sure. It'll make me go like this.
Oh, it'll make you.
Yeah, exactly.
No way. No way.
Right, so go down first. Yeah, that's a good idea. Keep your head in good position. Head in good position. Underneath his head. No, no. Yeah, don't do it like that though. Do it the right way. Grab his wrist with your underhook arm. Start over. Yeah, start over. Keep your head in good position. You don't want to. Yeah, you want to keep it there. Good. Go back to attacking his neck. Fall to your right. Yeah. Push that arm down now. Yeah, now take it away. Good. That's the most realistic way of taking that away, you know? Okay, now you take that away.
This arm comes out, grabs this wrist, pull it out, grab this wrist, push it down, feed it to this hand. Okay. Now from here, go to the choke. He grabs, fall to this side, take away his arm. Right. Now once you get take away this, feed this out, just push out. Yes, and move it down. And the way that we like to do it from here, pull this arm out like that. Just move your arm down. Yes, and then now feed it in. Boom, because he's following. And then now from here, yeah, boom, boom. Go back to the choke, right? And then remember, we want to grab on the fat. Right, now try to walk right. Down a little bit more. Right. Yeah, try to get your arm out. So I would say that's a little high. Go a little bit, yeah, that's about right here.
You're trying to really hold on to those things. Always like pull your wrist forward and then pull it into his chest. You know, don't just grab it.
Yeah? Always have your hands.
So you have more.
Push it.
Ready? This is never how Kevin Nash or the big people would step into the ring like this. And then you let the girls in. You go. Here you go. Good.
That's one mini me.
That's how you let the ladies in. The hot girl wrestlers.
Oh yeah, I say bento.
Well, that's just being
Gentle wrestling.
chivalry. You know, chivalry's not dead in wrestling either.
Boom, now grab the fat part of his hand. At least you got the right angle. It's the only angle you're milling it out is you go straight down. Keep choking, keep spider walking. The whole time you're threatening a choke. But again, we're not complete yet. We still got a couple more things. But as far as straightening it out, that's the goal. Don't try to go out. We know we can do that. Pop it and then go. Like you were doing.
Like the gates.
Exactly.
Strictly come down.
Up his shoulder, almost like to his back. I'm like walking it all the way back. Okay, again, going back to how powerful your grips are. When he's keeping his chin down, when I make contact with his shoulder with my fingers, I can lift my wrist up like that and see. Keep your chin down. If you guys don't believe me, I'll come around and do it, you guys. It sucks. It's real bad. But once I make contact with his shoulder, I just lift my wrist like this and then I crawl. Okay, the other thing that I'm doing, so that's one thing I'm doing. The other thing I'm doing is sometimes as hard as, as good as we're controlling his wrist, it's very hard to hold on to it if the guy's super, super strong. So even if I'm up here, he goes to straighten his arm out, he's gonna pop his arm out and he's gonna go back to attacking or defending this attacking arm. Okay, so I gotta have an answer for that. Chris was there. I'm sure you've seen this before, Chris, right? What do we call this?
Sailors.
Huh?
Sailor.
It's the gay salute, man.
Gay salute.
Remember the gay salute? I know, Mal, have you seen it?
I've seen it.
Yeah, okay. So look, I'm digging, there's once I've made this an unfair fight, there's a couple games I still have to play. Like little games inside of this, or little battles that I'm trying to win. I gotta dig, I gotta get underneath his chin to get the choke. And the second I lose contact with it, I'm gonna bring it like my hand up to my head like this. Because there's no place he can bring that hand as far as like, he can't bring it anywhere close to this hand without me snatching it back up. Okay, I don't want him to be able to pop at it and come over the top of his hand, right? So he pops it out and he comes over my hand just to grab this wrist, right? Yeah. But if I pops it out, if I keep it up, I can always snatch it back up. And I can continue my fight here. Yeah? Okay, so we've gotten to here. Now we're just gonna play. Don't go super hard. Just go through the motions a couple times. Do this one a couple times. Like have him pop his grip out, bring your hand up, and snatch it back up. Simple. Go ahead. Okay, and the other hand is digging with the thumb, just tracing his collar line, working my fingers to his shoulder. Everyone's got a nice bone on top of his shoulder I like to grab. Hook my hands on that like a rock climber. Crawl back as far as I can. Okay, and then we're just gonna finish this choke with one arm right now. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to get your other arm out to finish correctly, but right now just grab behind him as much as I can. Touch my shoulder blades together. Flex my huge guns. Okay, and pull this elbow back this way. Okay, guys will capture this for sure. Okay, but if not, we'll go over getting this arm out and finishing the right way. So just adding those two little games, right? Don't be mean. You guys are fucked up. Okay, take his arm away. Tap my wrist. Boom, boom. Right now we're trying to play games with both arms. Both arms gotta be active. Trying to dig. He's trying to straighten his arm out and get my wrist. Yeah. Head's got to stay tight too, so there's that I got to think about. Because if I get a perfect choke, I get all the way underneath, but his head drops to the mat, he's out. That's good for you guys to know too, as defending the choke. If I'm here, you can get your head to the ground. It's gone. I don't have nothing. I didn't change my arm position. His neck's still up, his chin's still up. So we've gotten to here. Dig. Practice this little game that's gonna happen. This little battle. Battles inside of battles inside of battles. They get smaller and smaller. All the little because when you start doing it, I went through a phase where I just did a lot of rear naked chokes. That's all I wanted to do. Go to your back and do rear naked chokes. And you choke the same person out like 50 times with a rear naked choke, and they get really creative with how they can like stop it. They get better and better at defending as you get better and better at attacking. And these are like all the little ways people find. There's any little crack that you leave open, they'll find it if you do it enough. Yeah. So these are the common things I see people using to get out of the choke that they've been put in like 100 times. I'm gonna pop this out. You're working his head to the mat, keeping his chin down. Jeremy likes to help me out by being a really good actor. Academy Award goes to Mr. Fields. All right, guys. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. They want to laugh. Yeah, they're like too manly. No reason this can't be fun, right?
Bring it up.
Gonna try when you get to the back, try it in live rolls. I know I didn't want you guys going 100% right now. I just want you to go through the motions and feel what you need to, go through the process, memorize the process. But you gotta do it in live rolling to really make it work. And when the guy's resisting 100%, you're just learning it. Of course, it's not gonna work exactly like you want it, but you can see as plain as I can, as plain as day, this is not a fair fight for him, yeah? This is not good. He's got both of his arms taken away. He's sitting there just, you know, keeping his chin down. You know, that's not a good defense for a choke. Eventually, if I do the right things, I'll work it in there. But he does have another escape route. If he can't get his head to the mat, okay, and he can't defend or whatever, another thing guys will do is they'll put themselves in like armbar position and they'll slide out the back door. Or they'll try and use this arm to lift and slide out this way. Okay, and if you let them come on top of you, they can get out. You do have some type of stuff you can work over here. You can follow them, go triangles from the back and stuff, but you know, you don't want him to be able to slide underneath just like that. Let's slide underneath, right, and then come up to his knees. You know. So, and this comes from a real basic escape. I'm sure you guys have seen it, where they kind of sink down like that, use an elbow to like push. You know, have you ever seen that? You guys seen that before? That's real simple back escape. So when they're in this position, they have that arm underneath your leg. So you're here. They can use that and just kind of that line of thinking to slide out the back door. They'll use those together. Bam. Right. Right when my leg pops over his shoulder, my bottom leg's gonna cross over the top one. Okay, we're just gonna have a real simple follow up. Like there's a bunch of things I can do here as long as I'm controlling what's happening as far as my position. I don't let him come up to his knees. Can't let him come up to his knees. Okay, I can, but sometimes I don't want to, right? So the second my legs cross, I gotta push him back. And I'm not gonna I don't need to stay close to him. I'm gonna push him back, and I'm holding on to like his bicep with my hand. So that's keeping his back on the mat, and it kind of gives me that real quick blast, right? Keep him backwards and then pull myself up. So now I'm here in kind of almost like a modified spiderweb position. Yeah. Okay. So from here, I can attack the triangle. Once I put it on his, instead of following him, I put him on his back. This hand's gonna stay in. I'm gonna fall towards his head and kind of like pull his arm up like this. And then I'm triangling towards this side. So towards the arm that's inside the triangle, I'm gonna make my lock on that side. Not on this side here. Okay? It's real simple. When you fall this way, I kind of package everything up in here nice, you know, nice and tight. Put a bow on that shit. You know what I mean? Real simple. Falling, grabbing my shin, and I'm at a 45, so I'm in good position to just squeeze my legs, hip up. And if you need to, you can come back and push on his head. But if I stay at that 45-degree angle, instead of right behind him or like right on the side, I should, you know, it should be just right to where my hips are pushing his shoulder into his neck and my calf is like catching the other side of his carotid artery. Yeah. The other thing I can do is I'm here. Say I don't want to go for a triangle this way. I can switch hooks, start grabbing for his leg, and then we just go X break. Okay, so I'm going to flare this leg open. I'm going to lead with my toes and bring my other leg in. Now I have an X around that far arm. Okay, once I have this X, both hands go to his wrist. Okay, and pushing with my feet, pulling with my arms. Even with my leg off of his head. Okay, as long as I pinch my knees together. Okay, I'll catch a submission there. See how much range of motion? Like, that's his arm straight right there. So, this is just from squeezing my knees. If I'm weak with my knees, his arm can come closer, but look at this. Right? And imagine me pulling it down and hipping up. So, he slides out the back door, I just cross the bottom leg over the top, and I push him back. He's gonna defend, I pull myself up. Okay, we just go for the triangle. Deep hook. Always look to control this leg too. You know, if you really want to settle the position down and not let him get on top of you, you know, switch your deep hook. Even with my leg off of his face, switch your deep hook and hold on to this. Settle him down a little bit. Because your toes, sometimes they don't go in right away. They're like trying to kick and pull, and he's just doing it right. He's keeping everything tight. I'm gonna have to like open my leg and really flare him out to get my toes inside. Then I can commit to his arm. So, last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go through all the steps. Looking to attack his neck. He doesn't feel like he can stay there anymore, so he pops out, just like that, boom. Cross my feet. Leave this arm in. Squeeze my knees together. Last one, you guys got that? All right, let's try it. 1, 2, 3.
Just push. Yeah. Shoot one more. So you know when I defend, when you defend, you have to like sort of, you see this arm, like lift it a little bit and turn. Okay. Yeah. So when I'm here, you defend, pass this to there, pass this to my hand.
Go ahead, hands together, break it, deep hook, next break it out. Once you break,